Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Saturday edition of the Corporate Gamer broadcast, Retro Night in Canada. I am your host, Corporate Gamer, and tonight we will be playing something that I've been wanting to play for quite a long time. I just realized that the gaming logo, the gaming thing, and the banner and the background kind of mesh pretty easily together, so it's hard to see. But tonight we are playing something completely different, and I've been looking forward to this for a very long time. I've heard about this since it's a good 6 months that I heard about this. Basically, um, I'm going to be playing Retromania Wrestling, and for those of you who don't know and you don't know the history, for those that have been following the channel for a while, you know that I'm a big fan of retro wrestling games. Either WWF WrestleFest, WWF Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, um, Pro Wrestling. However, one of my favorite arcade games of all time is always going to be WWF WrestleFest. I've actually played it on the stream as well. And it's an old school, very basic wrestling game, but it does the job, right? So back then, I used to love how the wrestlers used to look. They're cartoony, but in a realistic way. It's kind of weird the way to say that, but it's basically um, it's weird. It's weird how to say it, but it's basically a 2D wrestling. Back when wrestling wasn't overly complicated, I have never been a fan of the new WWF slash WWE wrestling games. I find they're way too complicated. They try to. I think the last enjoyable wrestling game that I really had fun with, I think, was Legends of Wrestling when that came out on the original Xbox. But other than that, after that, I played a few. Yeah, a few of them were fun, but I mean, in general, I don't follow wrestling anymore, so it's not as if it's gonna be a great thing. But I'm a big fan. I used to be a big wrestling fan back in the 80s and 90s until late 90s. I think until 2000, I was a pretty big fan. Then it started going down a little bit, and from the mid 2000s, I pretty much stopped watching wrestling. I've watched a few WWF, WWE Raws, SmackDowns here and there. I've watched the AEW, but I find wrestling today is like, and this is an old school person that's talking about this. I'm, hey, all right, it's all good. Thanks for passing by and saying hi. I really appreciate it. Hope the move goes well. Hope the discussions go well, and they always go better with wine. I've learned that the hard way. Although I couldn't go the other way. If you drink too much wine, then nothing gets discussed, and then it's 3:30 in the morning, and you're like, "Oh crap, we haven't spoken about anything." Uh, but having said that, where was I? Yeah, so I was a big fan of 80s and 90s wrestling. I haven't been a really big fan since then. So, and I actually have behind me. I could get it a little bit later on, but I do have um, I actually have a replica WWF belt, um, World Heavyweight belt. Oh, I thought you moved. I thought you moved already. I thought you were in your new place. So you're moving again? You got to move to Montreal. I'm telling you, you got to move to Montreal. I know it's not easy to do. You got to move to Vermont. Um, where does this go? Oh, that's where that thing goes. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. So from the 19. So basically, those wrestling. So a lot of people, and I'm an old school guy, and I'm of the impression, and again, it's only my opinion. I have been a fan of Okay. Oh, New England. Nice. Right. Well, hope it goes well. So I'm assuming that you're willing to get a new job and leave what you have right now. Oh, nice. Congrats. I didn't even get that yet. Here in Montreal, we are at 60 years plus in all the long-term facilities. So I'm assuming by end of this week we'll be at 55 plus. No, sorry, 50. Yeah, 55 plus, and then after that 50. But as we get lower, there's more and more population, so it's going to take longer. But yeah, I'm hoping to get. We're still kind of on lockdown. They've kind of relaxed it somewhat, but I'm still considered in a red zone. So yeah, it sucks because I can't do anything with my daughter. Like we can't do any activities. All the activities for kids are closed. The only thing that's open is daycare. Oh yeah, that bad? Okay. Um, yeah. So to go back to the conversation, sorry. Um, to go back to what I was saying. So I'm of the era where wrestling characters, how, no matter how outrageous or how crazy they may seem, they were caricatures. They were real life cartoon characters. That's the only way that I can describe it. So, uh, cool. And what's the main reason for not wanting to be in the state anymore? If you are willing to say. If not, it's all good. Um, I remember the days of like Duke the Dumpster Drozy, the Blue Meanie, Coco Beware, Bad News Brown, Junkyard Dog, King Kong Bundy, Bam Bam Bigelow. Yeah, everybody remembers Hulk Hogan because he was the front and center of that era. But there were a lot of different wrestlers that they made wrestling fun. It was fun to watch them. And also, I remember the '80s when they actually had a tag team division that was actually decent with Demolition, with the Killer Bees, which didn't last too long. Probably because they they wanted to start a union in the WWF, and that didn't go too well with McMahon. Um, so yeah, but having said that, yeah. So you had a yeah Demolition, the Strike Force, the Rockers, Heart Foundation. Uh, my God, there were so many. So um, having said that, so then it evolved, and then you had the Attitude Era, which is fine, which kind of lost a bit its luster in terms of the tag team division, but in terms of personalities, you had The Rock, you had Stone Cold, The Undertaker had the Badass Era and stuff like that. Things I've been here my whole life and want a change of pace. Also, belief wise, I think there's more opportunity for me elsewhere. Okay, makes sense. Well, good luck, madame. I support you 100%. I know a lot of people that have moved from either from states to Canada. I have a couple of people that I work with currently in my job where they left. Some of them left Illinois. Some of them left, but it's been years. Like it's been like they've been here for like 10 years at least. Um, some of them moved back. So some of them moved to Montreal. I don't know why. They moved from Montreal to like San Fran. Apparently, they don't find it that expensive. I find that hard to believe, but that's me. Everybody I know that's in the States says San Fran is super expensive. And then the person moves over there, it's like, yeah, it's not that bad. Yeah, but you don't have any healthcare. Well, we kind of do. The company gives us healthcare. Yeah, but you don't. If you want to go get a consultation, you have to pay for it. It's not well. At least I think I had the discussion with some people. Some things are covered, some things are not. Depends of the state as well. It depends how the state manages that. But still, you know. Uh, well, right now the border is closed technically because of COVID. Um, but we will never say no to America. They're our biggest trading partner. We'll never say no. And there's a lot of people in Canada. Not as much in East End Canada, but in the west, like Alberta and British Columbia, a lot of people do cross border stuff. Like they spend weekends, like in Seattle, um, or Washington State, right across from Vancouver or Oregon. They go around that area, or Portland. They go around that area to spend either the day. They do day trips and stuff like that. Here, Montreal. It used to be a lot more prevalent when we used to travel. Back in the day, granted, our dollar is not amazing now, but it's status quo. It's at 75 cents, or it's maintaining 75 cents, more or less. Um, Technically, it's not. It's at the time where it used to be that the American dollars are a lot stronger. People used to do day trips to Vermont, so like Plattsburgh, Burlington, places like that. Used to go to malls, and even with the exchange rate, things were cheaper, right? So let's say you wanted, I don't know, Nike shoes, they'd be like 75 American, but even if you put in the exchange rate, it still was cheaper than buying them in Canada, because Canada was like $250 or $300 for the sneakers. Um, I don't know if that's a thing that people do a lot. I know they do day trips, not anymore, before the pandemic, but I don't remember, like in recent years, if people used to go down to Plattsburgh. I think they used to go to the lakes, like Champlain, but I don't think they go like for a game. But I don't think they go down to shop anymore as much as they used to. Before it used to be a thing, and then at one point Vermont got smart, and then they started jacking up the price, and then people used to still go. But then people got smart and they're like, yeah, we're not going to go there anymore. Unless they go in the States, like for vacation. I don't think they're going to actually do anything for that matter. So, um, and yeah. Um, and also, like, it's weird because I remember going. I remember this story. So when I was a kid, I was about 5, 6 years old. We went down to Disney World, obviously, because that's where all families go when they want to go on a family vacation. So we went down to Florida, which is surprising that this happened. So at one point we're waiting. I think it's the line to the Epcot Center. I'm pretty sure. Anyways, so we're talking. My parents were talking with a couple in front of us, and they were saying oh, like where are you guys from? Oh, we're from, I don't know, we're from Illinois. And then they said, asked my parents, like, where are you guys from? Oh, we're from Montreal, Quebec, Canada. Actually, they say Montreal, Canada, because most Americans don't know Quebec, the province of Quebec. Um, and I know it sounds ignorant of me to say, but it is, from my experience, it's actually true. The ones that know Montreal, they won't necessarily know that we come from the province of Quebec, which is weird because if, let's say, you say, I don't know, Los Angeles, Los Angeles is in California. Like, I don't know. Anyways, so so my parents go, oh, we're from Montreal, Canada. And there's a couple behind us. They're like, "Oh, you guys live in igloos." Now you would figure every time I say this story, people think that it's like, "Oh, they were just joking around." No, they were actually serious. And the couple that my parents were talking to, they're like, uh, Montreal people, like they don't live in they don't live in the Arctic. They live in Montreal. They have a baseball team. The Montreal Expos. They play a summer sport. What did you guys think the Oh, well, you guys are from way up north. It's like, okay, if you think, like, I don't know, if you think Vermont and Quebec are southern part of Quebec are pretty much, they have the same weather, more or less. Um, like, it doesn't like winter just continuously go like it's not the well technically we are in an ice age because we have ice caps, but we're not like half of North America isn't like all of Canada isn't frozen tundra. Like there's people that live here, and you would think that would have been the only instance, and there's been quite a few instances. The only time I was stunned, and I never understood this, and I don't think I have one, but I guess I do. We went to Wildwood one year. And it's funny because we went to Wildwood and we didn't check before. We just had planned it like that. So we went to Wildwood without booking anything. We never used to have any problems booking. But we went to Wildwood and we didn't realize there was a conference, a big conference in Atlantic City, and everything in the Atlantic City and the surrounding area, including Wildwood, Ocean City, they were all booked. So there was no hotels anywhere. So we went to Wildwood. We tried a bunch of hotels, motels. Everything was booked. We went to Ocean City. Everything, and we ended up sleeping in the car overnight until we went to this magnificent place called Magnolia Hotel, where the owner used to make industrial rags, which tells you a lot. Yeah, but the couple that were behind us weren't from Florida. They were from Texas, um, which I don't know. If you're from Texas, chances are you know baseball, and chances are you know who the Montreal Expos are. Like I understand your team is in the American League. You may not look at the National League, but still, at least at that time. Um, so yeah, we go. So we end up getting a motel and stuff like that. Okay, fine. And then the next day we go to the boardwalk and we walk around and we walk into a store and we're like where was it? Oh no, sorry. So from the story we went to the actual we went to Atlantic City because my dad wanted. We were fed up. Oh yeah, because we were there for a couple of weeks. We were on vacation for a couple of weeks, and we were fed up of eating like restaurant food. So we wanted to order some groceries for us. But my dad's Italian, so he wanted to get some, capicolo and salami and whatever. So, anyways, we go to this. We go to the store, and we're like, "Excuse me," because my dad didn't like ham, for whatever like regular ham, but he liked capicolo or and salami and stuff like that. So he goes to the store and he doesn't see anything he likes. So he goes, "Excuse me, do you have Italian cold cuts?" "Oh, you're gonna have to go to an Italian. You're gonna have to go to a specialty store. There's one in Atlantic City." And I was like, "Okay, whatever. Even if it's expensive, whatever. We'll buy whatever we need and we'll put it in the little cooler." This specialty Italian store in Atlantic City did not know what capicolo was. They only had mortadella, which is fine. My dad was okay, so we bought a bunch of that. They didn't have like apparently it was a specialty store, but they didn't know half of the stuff that's Italian. So I don't know where. I'm assuming the owners were not Italian whatsoever. Oh, it's all good, Wasteland. Have a good one. Good luck with everything. Um, so yeah, we went to the Italian specialty store. They didn't know anything. And we're like, thank God. And anyway, so one of the guys in the restaurant, in not the restaurant, but the store, we asked him for, "Oh, excuse me, sir, do we have any capicolo?" You know, and he's like, "You guys are not from around here." We're like, "Oh no, from Montreal." "Yeah, yeah, your accent sounds like it's from Montreal." And I'm like, "What accent is that?" I understand that I can speak French. I would understand if, at least I don't seem to have an accent when I speak English, but apparently I do. That people recognize it. I never realized that I have an accent. I know there's different accents per se. Like if you talk to somebody from Toronto or speak to somebody from Vancouver, they have a different dialect. They speak English, but they have like it's like in the States, right? A New Yorker sounds different from a Floridian or from from Houston or from Los Angeles, right? They all have different dialects. But I never realized like when I speak English, I sound Quebecer or I sound like I come from Montreal. I don't know. I guess it must be a unique thing. Anyways, all that to say, Yeah, we were told very often we're we live in igloos. Um, so yeah, it happened. I think it happened twice that somebody told me that we live in igloos. The second time we actually played around with them. Like, yeah, it's hard to maintain the house during the summer because it keeps melting. Anyways, all right. So back to the story. Back to wrestling. So yeah, as I was saying before, I'm from the day and age where I used to like characters, and I used to love all the different characters that I named previously. And now wrestling is just super boring. And it's not because everybody says like wrestling is fake. Wrestling, it's so. This is my take on it, and this is my opinion. Wrestling is not it. Physically, wrestling is not fake. Story wise, it's fake. So it's fixed matches. That's what wrestling is. It's a fixed match. It's not like the NHL or the NBA or football where you watch a game and you don't know what the outcome is. The outcome in wrestling is predetermined. Always has been, always will be. There was a time where people believed that it was actually no, no, unique and people used to win their belts and stuff like that. But it's all predetermined. It's all written. That's it. The actual wrestling itself is not. And if you think of like, oh, well, they don't really punch each other and stuff like that. No, okay, that's fine. But you know what? If you don't fall properly on your back when you're doing a suplex, that freaking kills your back. If you don't know how if you don't know how to, you know, take a clothesline properly, that's gonna hurt. Taking a slap on the chest, if you don't know how to do it properly, it could hurt a lot. There's things that make it so it looks worse, like in the old school days when you used to take the stairs on the corner of the ring, and they used to bang in there. It's like lockers, right? It makes a lot of noise, but it doesn't really hurt if you hit it a certain way. But I mean, a chair shot to the head is a chair shot to the head, and it's not as if like these chairs are rigged. A lot of these chairs are real and they get dented. I mean, it is what it is. So to say that it's fake physically, no, it's just predetermined. The match outcome is predetermined. Yes, from that perspective, the storytelling, the match is rigged and it's fake. Yes, but from a physicality perspective, it's not. And especially today with you know, no, before it used to be like yeah, Japan had its own style of wrestling. Mexico and Southern America has their own way of settling. North America had its own way of settling. North America, like American and Canadian, had its own wrestling type. It with the years, it just became more of like I miss the days where you had the uh, Bret Hart, which was the tactical wrestler, the guy that used to break the wrestler down and take advantage. And if you guys want to look at a perfect example uh, of the mastery of what Bret Hart used to do, and a lot of people say that this is one of his best matches, is when you go to I forget which King of the Ring, 96 or 97? I think it's 96. Because 97 was Stone Cold. So I think it's 96, but don't quote me on that. Where he fought 3 times in one night against 3 different wrestlers. And he was told that he could not win. He had to win without the sharpshooter, I think, with each one. And if you look at those matches, they're spectacular matches. He wrestled the crap out of those matches. And it was a joy to see. And he wrestled, and the thing is, he doesn't get as much hype as a Ric Flair or a Hulk Hogan or others that were on top of their game, because he was in an era where wrestling was down a little bit, and the WWF was kind of going down at that time. It was kind of they call it the dark period. I call it the dark period now for wrestling. Well, at least for WWE. But back then, that was kind of the dark ages for WWE at that point. It was a lull. Um, Hulk Hogan was people were getting Hulk Hogan fatigue in the WWE. He left, or WWF at the time. He left. He went to WCW, and then there was a bunch of exoduses, and everybody left and went to WCW. But Hart stayed there. Bret Hart stayed, and he actually did really, really well. There was him. There was Sid Justice. I remember they used to be very good. Um, who else was there? I mean, the Ultimate Warrior was a. His matches are so bad now. I remember getting so excited for Ultimate Warrior, but his matches are so bad looking back on them. Like, and it's not everybody. It's not because everybody's trashing them, trashing him, and his matches. But he was like basically he was known for his entrance. That's basically it. The entrance and the music. That's it. Everything else, it was complete garbage. His matches would never last that long, and if they did, and like when you have like two bad wrestlers, like WrestleMania 9, I think was when you had Ultimate Champion versus Champion, Ultimate Warrior versus Hulk Hogan. Um, it's two guys that have trouble holding a match. Like Hulk Hogan could get the crowd going, but he did the same thing. He's been doing the same thing for like 40 years. Um, but at least he's able to get the crowd going. But his in ring ability was never that great. I mean, it's always been the same thing. The raking of the eyes. He doesn't do any holds, barely any holds. Um, he maybe, it's very, very rare. He usually, most of his matches, 90% of the time, he gets beaten up for like 15 minutes, and then he goes and hulks up, and then that's it, right? Um, and then you have the Ultimate Warrior, which basically had no in-ring ability. He had apparently no endurance, so he couldn't carry a match longer than 10 minutes. That's why his matches were so short. And a lot of the ones that were lasting longer than 10 minutes, notice often he's in a hold and he doesn't do much. Until he bulks up at the end, he freaking goes nuts and he does the splash. But in general, his matches were never longer. Oh my God, I think a long match was like 15, 20 minutes. Um, I mean, they were horrible. Anyways, all that to say is that I'm a big fan of the original, um, the old school wrestling. The 80s, the 90s, characters. They might have, like, there were some characters they would never be popular today or never even be in concept today because they're so racist. And the one that comes that comes to mind, it's so bad. It's you had a wrestler called the One Man Gang, which on his own is fine. He was like a gang member. He was like a stereotypical biker gang member. Anyways, he pretty much had his whole career based on that. And then at one point he got injured, and they brought him back. And I don't know why they decided to make him like uh, they decided to make him like a completely different character, and they gave him um, um, they gave him a manager called Slick, which is surprising on its own. And I used to love Slick, actually. Slick was actually really, really cool. Um, and he was. I used to like him. He used to be like really a slick, sharp dressed guy. Obviously a black guy with a beard and everything. You make everything smooth. Anyways, so that's fine. As a manager, he was fine. He wasn't. I think a lot of people wouldn't think of him as being he wasn't a Bobby Heenan. Bobby Heenan was like the mastery of being a manager and being a heel. Slick was just being a manager, but he did his job well. He just did it well. He didn't do it spectacularly, but he did it well enough. Anyways, so they put him with who used to be the One Man Gang, and he came back as Akeem, the African Dream. Now keep in mind, the One Man Gang is a white guy that's whiter than anything you could ever see. He was white. But apparently in the storyline, he found his roots back in Africa, and he realized that he was part black or something along those lines. Like that would not fly nowadays at all. It was a horrible gimmick. It was funny in a way because he would try and so rumor has it apparently they told him that he has to dance. He's like, I don't want to dance. And apparently this guy was a sweetheart in real life. He was a really nice guy, always helping others. Really, really nice guy. Anyway, so they told him, and he was actually iffy about the character. He wasn't too keen on doing it. So even he was like, eh. Anyway, so he ended up doing it, and they told him, well, you're going to have to dance. But he's like, I don't dance. I'm a fat guy. I don't dance. Anyways, so they decided to, he's like, okay, I'll figure something out. And the first time he went out, he did these weird, like, moves, and it stuck. And that's became his thing. He used to go into the ring, he used to do but it was a horrible gimmick. Like, it was he did what he could with the gimmick, but it was a horrible gimmick across the board. That would never fly in today's day and age. Even back then, that was kind of rough. Like, even back when that was conceived, that was what, the early 90s? I'd say? It wasn't the 80s, because in the 80s he was a one-man gang. So it must have been the early 90s, 90, 91, 92, around there. Yeah, so that, like, but in order to get good gimmicks, you have to have bad gimmicks. Look, The Rock, when he first came into the WWF, he was Rocky Maivia. So basically he was a combination of his grandfather's name. I forget it. He was a Maivia. I forget his first name. And then his dad who was Rocky Johnson. They took that, Rocky, and they put it together and put Rocky Maivia. Happy-go-lucky guy, Samoan. All right, guy. And he wasn't getting any momentum. And it's only when he started giving an attitude that the true Rock came out. And I think it's when he was with the Nation of Domination. He really started coming out of his shell. I don't remember if it was when he was the corporate champion or that. I don't remember. I forget which one came first. I think it was the Nation of Domination, and then he was the corporate champion. But you see, like, he had to fail at something before something became successful. Not everyone has a gimmick that works out of the box. I mean, gimmicks are hard to do. I remember my brother and I came up with this thing where a tag team where we thought that it would be super hilarious. I don't know how long that would last, but you have a tag team called the Doorknobs, right? So when you call somebody a doorknob, usually it means that they're stupid. But the idea is that you call us the doorknob. What the tag team would do is they would lock their opponents in their rooms and then win by default. At least it would work for the first little while. Long term, obviously not. Eventually, they would have to wrestle, but still, something to think about. It's ideas like that doesn't happen anymore. Now it's just a bunch of muscle men that do the same moves over and over again. Either you say the Shield, or you say, I don't follow wrestling anymore, but you say anything. You have maybe a few different personality traits, like the Mexican wrestlers and the Japanese wrestlers will do more high flying stuff. But in general, it's like muscle men that just punch. Like before, that used to be a street fight. I think it used to be called a Chicago street fight match. You'll never have like a tactical wrestler against a guy that punches through walls. It doesn't really happen. Who's a tactical wrestler now? An actual tactician in the ring. You used to have Bret Hart, Chris Jericho, Dean Malenko. Used to be really good at that. Dean Malenko was really, really good. But those wrestlers are few and far between. Yeah, you still have Chris Jericho that still wrestles. But I mean, he's technically an old guy now, an older guy. There's no one really coming in and taking the reins. It's really a shame. But it is what it is. Anyways, I have said enough. I've been talking for the last... I've been talking for the last 38 minutes, and I apologize. Let's get into Retromania. I've just loaded it on my Xbox One, my base Xbox One, just to see if it works. So so it does work. And WW WrestleFest actually came out in 1991. I love the theme. I love the music. I'm gonna get the MC8, but I don't care. Retro Rumble. Draws a colored ring underneath the wrestlers. Okay. Music is really awesome. Fantastic. Taunt, pause, run, weak, strong, medium, thin. That sounds good. And move around. Okay. Double tap to on top rope behind the cage. Ah, okay. Let's go for story. Let's see how that goes. Chapter 1, Stevie Richards' Fitness. Nearly 20 years, for almost 2 decades, I've given my body, heart, and soul to this business. And for what? I've put thousands of miles on rental cars, even more in the air. People all across the world know my name, but now I'm injured, beaten down, and all out of luck. This is the last place I ever saw myself, but after what happened, Stevie might be the only chance in this world I have left. Give me a second. Be called. Johnny Retro, so good to see you, brother. I heard about what happened, and I don't want to talk about it. I get that. How did the rehab go? Not sure. I just finished. I'm hoping you can help me find out. My body doesn't feel the same anymore. I'm not sure I can still go like I used to. Well, that's what we're about here at Richards Fitness, brother. But before we start, I gotta ask you, Johnny. You've done it all. Won titles all over the world. Gone up against the biggest names in our industry. What's left for you to even accomplish at this point? I don't know. You need a goal, brother. A mountain to climb. Let's get into the ring and see where you're at physically. But when you're done, I want a goal. A real good goal. Can sink your teeth into. You ready? All right, Johnny, show me what you got. Let's start with a weak move. I guess you still got it. Next, show me a medium move. All right. All right, that's good. Nice. You're good in shape. Now let's try acrobatics. Come and tackle me. Really? All right. You definitely still got it. Go on, gloat about it. I'll increase your momentum, allowing you to do better moves. Okay, calm down there, Johnny. When you have no momentum, you want to stick weak attacks. With one filled box, you can use weak and medium attacks effectively. To filled boxes, you can do any move effectively. Okay. That's good to know. Oh, nice. 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 Well, how did it feel to get back into the ring? Okay, a lot of ring rust, but I think I got it back to where I was. That took no time at all. Oh no, brother, you're getting better. And we're not even starting down this road. I'm going to set up a training regimen that's going to make you stronger, leaner, faster, but the mind. That's on you. Did you think about what I said? Did you come up with a goal? Something in wrestling even more you've never done? I never beat the Road Warriors. I'm serious, Johnny. Okay, fine. The National Wrestling Alliance World Championship. The belt has 10 rounds of... That's 10 pounds of gold with a lineage that goes all the way back to 1948. I've never won that, and I've always wanted to. Alright! The NWA gold. By the way, I'm surprised they got the NWA license to do this. If you're gonna dream, might as well dream big. Let's oil up and hit the gym, brother. Come on, Johnny. Come on, 100. You're working me to death here, Stevie. And it's paying off. My goal isn't just to get back to where you were before the injury. I'm trying to rebuild you in a better Johnny Retro. Speaking of which, I've got someone I want to reintroduce you. What's up, Chico? It's me, the blue guy. AKA the Blue Meanie. AKA leader of the Blue World Order. Leader? I've invited my former Blue World Order bud to spar with you. This is really good. This is a nostalgia trip. So much you can accomplish on your own. You ready? I was born ready. Nice. Okay, that's not what I wanted to do. But I guess you can't go. Nice. Nice. Fuck. Come on. Fuck. Come on. No, that's not what I wanted to do. Let's do this. Nice. I'll get better at this, but... Well, Meanie, how's Johnny coming along? Think he's ready for this weekend. What's this weekend? I booked the 3 of us for a local show. These training sessions are fine and all, but if we're going to get you back in being the Johnny Retro, you need real opponents. Fine, I'd love to be a temporary member of the Blue Order. Johnny Retro tag with you two? Pfft, fine. I am so ready for this fight. The action, the crowd, the violence. I'm ready. Yeah. Been a long time coming, Meanie. Retro, who do you want to tag with? You're the one to rehab me, Stevie. I'm going with you. You won't be disappointed, brother. So, who are we working with tonight? Stevie, the stud board. Great to see you, brothers. Hollywood Nova's gonna run wild tonight and stretch your beam out. I don't talk with my opponents before a match. Messes with my intensity. See you out there, boys. Blue World Order reunion. This, everything I've been waiting for. Retro, a word with the wise. Tommy Dreamer's got a stroke of the House of Hardcore, and he's molded into one of the biggest territories in the Northeast. He'd be a good person to have on our side, so look sharp out there, okay? Try to forget about what happened. You don't have to worry about me. I'm gonna lose. For sure I'm gonna be losing.
The following tag team match is scheduled for one fall and has no time limit. Introducing first, from Los Angeles, California, Johnny Retro.
It looks fantastic.
From Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Big Stevie Cool. And their opponents, from Silicon Valley, Hollywood Nova. From Yonkers, New York, the innovator of violence, Tommy Dreamer!
Really? Really?
Into the ropes he goes. Into the ropes he goes.
I'm still learning the ropes.
With heart and determination. Johnny Retro making everything look effortless. Johnny Retro.
How do you tag?
What guts, what fire. Listen to this crowd.
How do you tag? Really talking. Come on.
What a maneuver.
Come on.
Retro making
Oh, come on. Come on.
Johnny Retro, no. More like Johnny Dominant.
How do you tag? I don't know how to tag.
He's looking to make quick work of him. Doing everything in the ring.
Fuck.
Into the corner.
I'm gonna lose.
A match for the ages.
The following tag team match is scheduled for one fall and has no time limit. Introducing first, from Los Angeles, California, Johnny Retro. From Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Big Stevie Cool. And their opponents, from Silicon Valley, Hollywood Nova.
Nova's in the best shape of his career. No one's getting up
The
from
fuck?
that. No one's getting up from that. Nova's in the best shape of his career.
Okay.
Johnny Retro makes everything look effortless. Into the ropes he goes. Into the ropes he goes.
Come on. The hell? I can't get anything working here.
Johnny Retro.
Okay, you know what? I have to play. Let's play the Royal Rumble then. I want to see the too many games. That's where you see the WWE. The YouTube.
Welcome to the Retro Rumble!
Johnny Retro. With heart and determination. Listen to this crowd. He found his mark. Johnny Retro. He found his mark. Down he goes. Almost gone berserk. And the best in the world here tonight. Into the ropes he goes. He found his mark. What guts, what fire. Into the ropes he goes. Wants to make quick work of
I have no clue what the fuck I'm doing.
Another man enters the room. Johnny Retro makes everything look effortless.
Do I? I don't even know what the fuck I'm doing.
Here tonight. The ring just moved. Hawk showing off his veteran skill set. Hawk showing off his veteran skill set. Into the ropes he goes. What a competitor. That's textbook, Ian. He found his mark.
I suck. Okay, is there a way of like... I know I did a tutorial, but...
Into the corner. This is a dream match, Cole.
Nice.
A competitor.
That was a nice move, actually.
Tag. To the outside. This ref needs to get things under control. He has the advantage now.
How do I get back in?
What a competitor. They need to get back in the ring. All that work at Richard's Fitness has really paid off. To the outside. He just gets better and better.
Really?
Interesting. Johnny Retro? More like Johnny Dominant.
No, man.
Looks like he has been through a war. Into the corner. I love it. Johnny Retro. Pure domination. He makes the tag. Johnny Retro.
I don't even know how I did that.
What a maneuver. Listen to this crowd. Johnny Retro. He makes the tag.
I don't even know. I don't know how to tag. Like, I need a tag.
Spine crushed. Pure domination. Kramer looks like he's been through a war.
Okay, I'm gonna have to... Retromania Wrestling. Yeah, but it doesn't... Retro... Trying to find a way of like wrestling better. Like there's no, like I don't know how to tag. I pressed every button and I don't know how to tag or what to tag. I have to admit, the music is freaking fantastic. I want to make sure that I don't get DMCA'd. But I'm trying to find. Okay. So the two top buttons. Oh, tag. It's this. I fucking missed it. Right. Do this again. God damn, I'm stupid. Sorry for that, guys. Or gals.
He's looking to make quick work of him. That's textbook, Ian. What a competitor. Tag. Draymond looks like he has been through a war.
Oh.
Into the corner. Over the top he goes. He found his mark. Tag. Never be the same after this.
Come on. And
Great teamwork. What a competitor. What guts. What fire. Tag.
nice.
Work at Richard's Fitness has really paid off. To the outside.
Really? God damn it.
He is showing the world. They need to get back in the ring. To the outside. Wants to make quick work of him. Wants to make quick work of him. I love it.
Come on.
Nova's in the
Well, at least
best
I'm doing
shape
better
of his
than I did
career.
last time.
He wants to make quick work of him. He makes the tag. What guts? What fire? What a competitor. Johnny Retro. He's helpless in there. He makes the tag. He makes the tag. He's looking to make quick work of him. What guts? What fire?
Come on.
He is so dangerous. He wants to make quick work of him.
Come on. Nice move.
Into the corner. He wants to make quick work of him. Nova's in the best shape of his career. Tag. Down he goes. That's textbook, Ian. Stevie Richards bringing that fire.
Really?
He makes the tag. It's textbook deal. Ooh, he's making a statement tonight.
Well, good
No
technically
one's
skin
getting
this
up
guy.
from that. He makes the tag. Are you kidding me?
Come on. Come on.
Into the corner.
Fuck. Well, that didn't work out as planned.
Nova's in the best shape of his career. It's textbook, Ian. Got him. Johnny Retro making everything look effortless.
Nice, I finally beat him. God, and this is only like round one. Great job out there, Retro. You're really coming back into form. Boyas, I've got some extremely blue news. I was talking to Johnny Dreamer after the match, and he loved that he saw Johnny and wants to book him for a House of Hardcore. The Rockstar Wrestling's always ready. Whoa, what happened to training? You really jet off another territory after what happened to Zach? Tell you what, take a night and sleep on it. Let's meet up tomorrow. I'm back at the gym. We'll made a decision then. I think he said we'll make a decision then. That is what it is. So what was I gonna do? Oh yeah. Alright. I'm so excited I might pop my blueberry. That sounds wrong. We've talked it over and we both think you're ready for the House of Hardcore, but it's a really old school territory and you're going to need some backup. That's why Meanie and I are coming with you. And guess what, old pal? We talked it over in Hollywood Nova and we're inviting you to join the legendary Blue World Order. Congratulations, brother. What do you say? The Rockstar is absolutely honored to travel up and down the roads with you guys. House of Hardcore better look out, because I'm not settling for anything less than a world championship. Keep your eye on the prize, Johnny, the NWA World Title. Ha! Don't forget the Road Warriors. Well, did he accept? He accepted so hard, we should think about calling him Johnny Blue. I don't mean to ruin your little festival of friendship or whatever, but you know what you're here, Richards. That's right. Tommy and Nova asked for a little friendly rematch. You think you can partner up with me? I'm always ready. Oh, that's nasty. The fuck? Oh my god. This is a lot harder. Oh, that's a nasty move. And that's also a nasty move. And that's also a nasty move. God damn it. The fuck? Guys. Man, these guys are fucking, right? Come on. Oh, fuck. I wasn't paying attention. Really? Really? Fuck. Am I these guys always change fucking momentum or what? I don't understand how momentum can change like that fucking quickly. I don't understand. Obviously, that was a bad move on my part. The fuck? Fuck off, man. Okay, come on. For fuck's sake, man. I'm fucking dead. definitely not winning this match. For fuck's sake. This is a lot harder than WWF WrestleFest. Although it is a good spiritual successor, though. Well, that didn't work out. And that didn't work out either. Why is everything a momentum changer? Why? I don't understand. Come on. I suck at this. Really awesome. Why? Why is this always a momentum fucking change? I don't understand. I don't understand. Like this whole concept of... Alright. Come on. Oh, come on. Everything gets fucking reversed. For fuck's sake, man. The fuck? Okay, sure. Of course, momentum shifts. Why not? Okay, I win the fight, I win the grapple, but I always get a momentum shift. I don't understand why. Okay, sure. I don't even know how I did that. One momentum. Okay, sure. Missed it. God damn it. I was killing the wrong guy. Oh, fuck it. Like, seriously. Fuck. Fuck. Come on. Fuck. Come on. Hey! Yeah, so the game itself is called... Okay. This is Retromania Wrestling. and it's a direct sequel to WWF WrestleFest that came out in the arcade. I don't know, 1991. And yeah, so I was a big fan of WWF WrestleFest. I've streamed it numerous times on this channel, and yeah, I've been waiting for this game for a long time. So the way that it started off, let me do the audio. Let me get the music. So the way that this started is that this was a game that started off as a passion project in homage of WWF WrestleFest. And there's also elements. Technically, it's a direct sequel to WWF WrestleFest, but I see some elements in here of Fire Pro Wrestling as well. But in general, it's a love letter too. And then they ended up getting the official how can I say it? Okay, to make it into the official sequel, so it became a special sequel, and then they started getting licenses. So they started getting technically in this game you are wrestling for the NWA title, which is still a thing. I'm surprised they actually got the okay for that, but it's okay. You have certain wrestlers. So unlike WrestleFest, which was all WWF at the time, wrestlers, here you only have a select few. You have Tommy Dreamer, you have the Road Warriors. In the original WrestleFest, it was called the Legion of Doom, obviously. But here they're called the Road Warriors. There's a few others, but in general, most of the wrestlers in here are they're not real wrestlers. They only got licensed for a few, and they probably gonna have, I guess, microtransactions where you can get like other wrestlers, but it won't affect your playthrough of this. So far, from what I've noticed, it's just as tough as the original game. It's not easy, but there's certain it's not a button masher like the other game was. The other game was rock paper scissors. So if you pressed on the button, and the person had would either do something different, it would be a move that would be more powerful than the other. Usually the one that had the more powerful move would win. So it was a rock, paper, scissors kind of mentality. Here it's slightly different. You have a meter. You have 3 meters, low, medium, high. And basically based on that, you can do different moves. I only managed to get through round 1 out of 10. Right, I'm in story mode right now. And then I'm doing round 2. I lost my first round 1 match. I won the second one. I lost my first round 2 match, and I'm playing my second match now. So that's the way it is, and I'm actually liking it. To be honest, it's pretty fun. So it's actually really fun. So we'll see how it continues going. So far, I'm having a blast. Like, I know it's not easy. But to me, it's a trip. Like, a game in 2021 that looks like this polished in a retro style wrestling game. Yeah, Jake the Snake and yeah. Again, a lot of those are WWF property or WWE properties. So, I mean, unless they paid like high amounts, I don't know how they got the license to do the NWA. Because technically, see, that's the thing I don't know about the WWF or WWE. They own the video library, but I don't know if they own the name NWA. Like, unlike WCW, they bought everything. But like NWA, it's possible they only have the video library and not the NWA. And if that's the case, they may not actually have the intellectual property either. They may just have the video. So it's possible that whoever owns NWA name or brand could actually do that. Now, how they managed to get Tommy Dreamer, Road Warriors, I don't know. It's whoever had, I guess, the Jack the Snack, yeah. I used to call him. I used to. The thing about Jake the Snake, it was weird because I never loved him as a wrestler. I always found him to be mid Carter. I used to be more of a fan of Million Dollar Man, Ted DiBiase. Um, Pretty sure Road Warriors own their IP the way Gangrel does. It depends, right? So a lot of them that fought. So a lot of people give shit to Hulk Hogan for being who he is and being an asshole or whatever. But he's one of the few that managed to keep his own name with him. Even Bret Hart had to fight for the fact of keeping Bret Hart, his likeness and everything. He had to, when he went to WCW, he had to fight to get his namesake and the character and everything. And the opposite of that is Razor Ramon. So Razor Ramon, the whole character it's a WWF property or WWE property. When he went to WCW, he pretty much had the same character, but without the colors and the name Razor Ramon. He was Scott Hall. But they actually sued for intellectual property. Yeah, they did. They did. There was a fake Diesel, a fake Razor Ramon. That failed flat. And that's when the WWF was having like a spitting war with Ted Turner during the bad years. And I was saying at the beginning of the stream, I miss the days where you had a wrestler like Bret Hart who used to be able to, yeah, the low class of right. Yeah, it was just bad. So, in all the years that I watched the WWF and WWE, quite honestly, the one thing you can give credit to, the thing about Vince McMahon is he had a much bigger vision than his dad when it was the Worldwide Wrestling Federation, WWWF. And his dad was Vince Sr. was very territorial. He was still old school where territories had to have their own thing. Whereas Vince Jr. had this vision of conquering the world, pretty much. And that's basically what he did, right? From the early 80s till about the mid 80s, he just swallowed up some local, wrestling organizations, stuff like that, to what it became today. And he was a visionary, and he was fine. He was really popular till 92, 93. Then it started waning. The popularity of wrestling started waning a bit. It started waning before, but it was kind of really that era. That was like the low point of WWF when you had Yokozuna, Bret Hart, Sid Justice. Not that they were bad per se, but it just wasn't the. Yeah, it was stupid. And the one thing about McMahon, he's a bad loser, regardless. And I think personally, my honest opinion, the guy is over 70 right now. And I know that he's been doing this for like 40, 45 years, even more because he worked for his dad. In all honesty, I think he has to step aside. And a lot of people don't like Triple H for as a wrestler, as the guy, he was handed the reins, he didn't really merit it, and blah, blah, blah. In his defense, he actually did something decent with NXT, because he's the one that handles NXT. And I think that if ever he comes in power, and he's, like Vince McMahon steps down and Triple H takes care of WWE, the product is going to be dramatically better. At least I'm hoping. He has a lot better view of talent. He has the pulse on what's popular and what's not. And in honesty, the WWE lost its identity. It lost its ability to write storylines. It lost its ability to build characters. All the characters are all the same. I mean, in general, like if you look at the women's division, from afar they all look the same. Like character-wise, they're all the same. the guy wrestlers, they're all the same. It's all big muscle men. Tactical wrestling doesn't exist anymore. You know, you used to have the tactical wrestler before. You used to have, um, you know, wrestling in an age of social media when all the stars have Twitter accounts, nothing will ever be the same. I agree with that to a certain point. No, there isn't. If it's done properly, no. If I remember, if you remember matches with Bret Hart, and I was saying this earlier in the stream, let's say you have I forget which one, which ring of the King of the Ring. I think it's 90. Again, I always forget. I think it's 96 because 97 was Stone Cold, so I think it's 96. Where the story goes. Actually, if you want to if you want to hear the story fully, there's a really good wrestling channel, Wrestling Bios. The guy is really, really good with documentaries and his weekly things, and it's actually really entertaining. And he covers like pretty much the era that I used to watch, which is awesome. And I went back and rewatched the Bret Hart King of the Ring, where he fought 3 times in one night. He fought Savio Vega. He fought, and the last bout was against Bam Bam Bigelow, and the second one was against I forget. I have the memory of a goldfish. That's what happens when you're tired. Having said that, that's pretty much it. So like, he fought 3 times in one night. And he was told not to actually finish using the sharpshooter. So he had to do 3 different finishes for 3 different fights, and he fought 3 times in one night. And Bret Hart is known as a technical wrestler. And what I like about him is that you saw he had like I was saying before, when people say wrestling is fake, I have an objection to that. What's fake is the storyline and the match itself. It's a predetermined match. So everything is pre-written, everything is predetermined. It's not like you're watching an NHL or whatever. Everything is predetermined. The physicality of it is not fake. Yes, the punches to the face are fake. But you know what? If you don't fall properly or you botch a shot, when you botch a wrestling move, it's not, yes, it looks bad on TV. But very often you don't see it, but it actually hurts the player, the wrestler that's taking the move or taking the hit. Because if, let's say you fall, there's a very big difference when you fall flat from the top rope and you have it equally. So that's why they fall like this, right? So it evens out the splatter or whatever. When you fall, the pressure, you fall on one side or the other, you have a chance of dislocating your shoulder, injuring the back, your side of the back. That's where back problems come into play. So there's a lot of things that come into play. It fucking hurts. You get a chair shot on the head. That freaking hurts. I don't care if it's a freaking rigged shot. Yes, some things are done so that it's trickery. Like choking on the third rope. It's always underneath the armpit. Hitting the stairs. They always hit the stairs. It makes more noise than anything else. It's like a locker in school, right? But I actually like the fact that you have a Bret Hart that used to go in and used to work on the leg, or used to work on the lower back, and there was a strategy to it. Now all the wrestling, like you had different wrestlers. You had high flyers, you had the ones that were more energetic, you had the ones that were bigger than life, like Hulk Hogan, the hulking. You had the technical wrestlers. Now it's just a bunch of muscled men that do street fights. Every wrestling match is a Chicago street fight, or it used to be called a Chicago street fight. And a more violent version of that is hardcore. But basically, that's what it is. When was the last time you saw somebody do a body slam? I know it's pitiful now to do a body slam because the moves are so much more diverse. But At the end of the day, though, you know, that's basically what it comes down to. Uh, it's it's really dumbed down now. Wrestling. I watch AEW. Probably the best product between Impact, WWE, and AEW is AEW. AEW has its faults, but at least they don't talk for like 8 hours. There's too much wrestling on TV now to cover the airwaves. You know, back in the day, you had maybe actual real, in the 80s. I'm saying 80s and early 90s. You had what? Saturday night main event that used to happen every other month. You didn't have a weekly thing. You used to have like weekly wrestling, but it was like house shows, and it would be like squash matches. You know, Hercules versus Joe Bundy, and then 3 minutes later, 1, 2, 3, like it was a squash match. Um, so there wasn't a lot of airtime, and then they started doing Raw, and they started doing, you had Monday Night WCW and Monday Nitro, and that was fine. It started as being an hour, and then it started being 2 hours, and now it's 3 hours. It's way too long. WrestleMania, the coverage is like 8 hours long. The actual WrestleMania itself is 4.5 hours. Seriously? That is freaking long. I remember when I used to go see at the local bar. Technically, I wasn't supposed to go, but in the summer, especially for WrestleMania, especially if it was nice, the windows were open, so I would stand outside watching it inside. Um, and it was 3 hours. It was from 8 to 11 or 7 to 10. Like it wasn't like, 7 to 12:30. Like, what are you on? That's way too long. Um, so yeah, there's a lot of things in wrestling where it kind of took a nosedive, and they forgot what made wrestling wrestling. Now I get it. There's a lot of logistics that cannot be done because of social media, right? Before stories were developed on TV, now you have the social media aspect of it, and especially now with people that have shady backgrounds or previous, not backgrounds, but shady like previous stuffs that they've done, like they were in jail or they said like something mildly racist in 1973. A lot of the wrestlers, like technically, I was saying this before, actually, at the beginning. I'll be repeating myself, and I apologize for those that heard this already, but um, there was this wrestler, there was this manager, I used to love him, called Slick, and there was this wrestler that was really popular in the 80s called the One Man Gang. Biker guy, tattoos, just a fat guy, just a fat biker guy. And then he got injured for whatever reason, and then he came back, and they gave him a new character, I guess because they thought his one-man gang character was getting stale. And he came back as a guy that apparently found his roots in Africa. And he came back as Akeem the African Dream with the manager of Slick. I used to love Slick. And the worst part is the guy that played One Man Gang, even though he played a tough guy on TV, apparently he's a sweetheart outside of wrestling. Like apparently the guy has the biggest heart on the face of the earth. The guy was loved by everyone, And when they gave him this character, yes, the Twin Towers, yeah. And when they gave him the character, he was actually hesitant to do it. He didn't want to do it. And eventually he caved in. And they told him, if you're gonna play this character, you're gonna have to do this. You're gonna have to dance in the ring. And he's like, I don't fucking dance. I'm a fat guy. Like seriously, I'm the whitest guy here. I can't dance. What are you talking about? Well, you figure it out. So he went to the ring and he started doing these moves that looked super awkward, but it became part of the character. Um, but looking back on it, even then, that was kind of that was was a racist character, like a white guy finding his roots in Africa, and then imitating what a black guy should be doing, like be trying to be cool. It just didn't. It would never fly nowadays. So imagine having that character come out on WWE TV or WWE Network today, right? Um, Same thing with the Big Boss Man. What was the Big Boss Man? Big Boss Man was a security guard, depending on where he was. He either was a security guard or he's an ex-cop, depending on where he was. And if he's an ex-cop, he's a cop that goes in the ring and beats up other wrestlers. So somebody in this world would say, "Hey, prison bull, yes." He'd be a cop that's using excessive force. Protest. That's the danger with having characters nowadays, but that's what I miss about wrestling. You had characters like Duke the Dumpster Drozy, the Blue Meanie, Dink, Doink, Crush. Some of them were horrible characters. I used to love Hercules with his big chain, Goldust. Who else did I used to love in the '80s? I used to love a bunch of them. I used to love Tito Santana. In the '80s, I used to like the Strike Force. I used to love Rick Martel when he was the model. That was hilarious. That was amazing. But yeah, all that to say that wrestling today is very different. And to write Ravishing Rick Rude, yes. And the genius Lemmy Poffo, which was actually the brother of Macho Man. And he would read that poem at the beginning of every match. It was hilarious. I used to love the $1 Million Man. Again, $1 Million Man, that's another one that would never happen. Leaping Lenny Poffo, yes. Yes, yes, that's true. $1 Million Man, that's another one. Rich guy that owns a slave, pretty much. That's what Virgil was. Granted, apparently Virgil's a real asshole in real life. But I don't know about that. But, something like that would never happen. The $1 Million Man might still exist, but not with Virgil. Definitely not with Virgil. I'm trying to think who the lower card were. You had the Junkyard Dog. You had... I think the Virgil is an asshole thing started on the Opie and Anthony Roadshow. I'm not sure if it's deserved. Apparently, so I've been following what's happening. Like I've been looking at conferences and stuff like that because sometimes they pass in Montreal when they do independent circuits and stuff. I always keep an eye out for it. And apparently apparently the people that have met him in real life. He's not very liked. And he's banking on the fact that he's Virgil. There's a couple of actual indie... circuits that kind of dropped him because he was overcharging because he was Virgil. I mean, let's be honest. He's known to be he wasn't known to be a wrestler. His singles career sucked. He was never given an opportunity, either deserved or not. He never was. I never really liked him as a wrestler. I found him boring. He didn't bring anything new to the ring. He was like in the same category as Brutus the Barber Beefcake. Like he didn't bring anything to the table. He was just a mid carder, and he stayed there, low card to mid card. But apparently it is true that he is an ass. But I mean, who is and who isn't, I don't know. Honky Tonk Man, yes. I'm the honky tonk man. I'm the honky tonk man. I'm cool. I'm cocky. I'm bad. He had the longest. I don't know if he still has the record for the longest intercontinental reign. He was Intercontinental Champion for the longest time. I think it's like a year and a half, 2 years, or close to it. He used to have the longest streak. I mean, it says fake there, but still. And I remember when people used to win the Intercontinental, and that was kind of like the stepping stone to be the champion back in the day. Now titles mean jack shit. I mean, to say that no, Ric Flair won 18 world titles. Okay, fine. Like, it means jack shit. Titles change hands so often now. It doesn't really, that's the thing. Like, there's never been, like, after Hulk Hogan, pretty much, in WWE, yeah, Yokozuna had a good run. Sid had a good run too, Sid Justice. But in general, the title runs were very short. They're like 3, 4, 5, max 6 months. And then the title used to change hands. Whereas back in the day, you had Hulk Hogan that was like champion year in and year out. Like, he was champion from 84 to like 89, more or less. Yeah, he lost the title here or there. But I mean, in general, he was like the champion for the longest time. And he pulled the same shit in WCW until he went to Hollywood Hogan. But again, even then, he would always somehow find a way to win the championship belt. Which, I mean, it's yeah. If you guys really want to watch something, a YouTube channel, it's amazing. Wrestling Bios. I've been watching since, I think, almost the beginning. He's improved a lot. Like, at the beginning, you saw that he was shaky, he was learning the ropes, and he was doing videos. Now his videos are a lot more fleshed out, and he goes through, like, he doesn't necessarily go through history. Like, he does go through a history of the wrestler per se, but he'll go through, like, the matches of the wrestler. Like, we'll cover the storyline of Brett versus Stone Cold, and it's like between a certain time and a certain time, and then he goes through every match that happens between them, and he analyzes them to see which one's good, which one's not, what was good about the bout, what was not, which one was weak, which one was not. It's actually really fun, and it's really enjoyable to watch. So, all right, let's see if I can actually win this one. Fuck. God damn it. Come on. Yes. God damn it. Fuck, I keep missing him. Come on. Fuck. I'm gonna lose this one. Fuck. Come on. Fuck. God damn it. I was almost there. Oh well. I think I'm going to call it quits for tonight over here. So that was Retromania Wrestling. I hope to play it again soon. I just want to see how it would play. It's really cool. It's really awesome. I love it. It's fun. It's tough. But it's fun by all. The music is amazing. The characters are amazing. The look and feel of it is amazing. You can actually pick, which is actually pretty cool. You can actually... So let's say you do this. You have a rumble that you're able to do, which is fine. Number of entrants. Humans enter first. Okay, sure. Yes. Okay. Stage. There we go. You can pick different areas, and I don't know if you follow John Riggs on YouTube. He's a retro game collector. He does a lot of NES stuff. Really cool. If you play, if you go to this one, which one is it? That's Retromania, School, Ballroom, Japan. Yeah, Too Many Games. If you go to Too Many Games, he's on the complete left of the screen, and he's sitting at it, and then you have a few other YouTube personalities that are there, which is actually pretty cool. So it's actually worth it. It's actually fun to watch. Am I not playing? Oh, I'm not playing. I'll put on the music again. The music is amazing. I love it. No. Let's do Pro Wrestling Tees. That's not what I want to do. House of Hardcore. Too many games. Oh, Road Warrior Animal. Because they can get thrown out. Fuck. Oh, no. Where the fuck am I? Come on. Let them fight it out. Nice, I eliminated somebody. Oh, that didn't go well. Is that the Ultimate Warrior? Oh, I'm eliminated. Well, that's that. Eliminated. Alright. That's it for me. Alright, guys. Thank you for joining me for watching Retromania Wrestling. I am going to be streaming this again soon. I want to complete it. I want to play the different modes fully. I want to see how it goes. I suck at it, as you can see, but it's very fun. I love the music. The music's amazing. And yeah, if you guys want to read my reviews, go to roundtable.ca. Today I released my third part of my three-part series of the Jake and the Fat Man review of the... so the first part was the history, second part was going through the actors, third part is the actual review of the series. You can check that out. It's right on the homepage of roundtable.ca. Next week I will be releasing my Mass Effect review. So that's coming, and then it's going to be Coffee Talk, and then it's going to be Wolfenstein: The Old Blood. All right, guys. Thank you, Real Life, for passing by. Really appreciate it. You rock. Wasteland, I know you're not here anymore, but thank you for passing by as well. And I'm going to try and stream tomorrow. If I do, I will go back to The Outer Worlds, Murder on Arandanos, and hopefully we'll get power through that as well. And then the next few games I want to be playing, we'll see how that goes. Probably going to be Bioshock Infinite. We'll see how that goes. I've been really itching to play Fallout 4 again, or Fallout New Vegas. So we'll see that it is. I'm getting a new rig, so I may wait till I get my new rig to do that and play with mods, like play story mods and stuff like that. So we'll see how that goes. And yeah, we'll take a look at that. In the meantime, while you guys are doing, we're gonna be showing some love to Avante. He hasn't streamed in a while, so let's do that. Let's show him some love. All right, guys, have a good one.